If a woman keeps canceling on plans or not responding to your messages, ignore her. Don't send her a text for a week unless she reaches out first. Then she's going to realize what a confident and not needy guy you are and start chasing you. I'm sure you've heard this advice before. It's basically parroted by every dating guru on social media nowadays. And I'm here to tell you why it's completely wrong. Listen, I understand why it makes sense on the surface and why it entices so many men. If as a man you feel like you've been constantly overlooked or rejected or disrespected, then you want to find any strategy to gain the upper hand. So you think by being aloof that you're going to show women that you're a high value man. In reality, you're actually being much more needy. The simplest definition of neediness is caring about someone else's approval of you. So obviously, if you're resorting to these types of games to try to get her to chase you harder, then you clearly care about what she thinks. And this is in direct contrast to confident men who value their time and respect themselves. A high-value man knows that he has limited time on this earth and feels like he has a ton of options. So he's only going to pursue the ones that make sense for him. So if a woman or a business deal gives them the runaround, they're going to either set a boundary or move on. They're not going to sit around hoping that this random opportunity picks them. They're going to go invest in themselves or make new connections. But men who listen to this advice generally just sit around for a week, checking their messages relentlessly, beating themselves up about what they did wrong, hoping that she'll come back to them, instead of going out and meeting other women or at least investing in themselves. Now you might wonder, what's the big deal? What if I play some of these games and it ends up getting a woman to come back to me and go on a date? The problem is your subconscious is always listening. So by constantly seeking the approval of someone who treats you poorly, you're only reinforcing to yourself that you're not worth more than that. And this is why I know plenty of guys who over the years have dated lots of women but have no self-esteem and no real confidence. And on top of all that, you are constantly wasting time on women who may not be kind, emotionally stable, or emotionally available. Where do you think it's going to go from here? If they're already this inconsiderate and they don't feel any need to communicate better at this stage, it's only going to get worse. Do you think this woman is going to be the type of person to be super generous in a relationship and not go hot and cold and to be considerate and thoughtful and sacrifice and compromise? Probably not. Don't get it twisted. A lot of guys feel like this is what every attractive woman does, and that's just not true. This is what people do who have unhealthy or toxic personality traits. But you will never see all the cool, attractive women who aren't going to treat you like that if you don't have some standards for yourself. Most of you would never tolerate this if your friends treated you this way, or a job opportunity, or any other type of connection. So why would you take it from women? So let me give you some better advice when you're talking to a woman who repeatedly cancels on your plans or ignores your messages. You have two options. The first is that you set some boundaries and communicate what you want. So if somebody cancels or something happens the first time, it's fine. But if they do it again, then generally I'm going to send a message like, hey, listen, I know things come up, but I really value my time and I want to connect with people who can make time for me. You don't tell her what to do or give her some ultimatum. You just express what you're looking for. And then you just leave it out there and see what happens. If she actually values the connection and realizes the error of her ways, she'll immediately apologize or make plans and follow through with them. And the right woman will invest back in you. Otherwise, you have option two. If somebody behaves in these disrespectful ways multiple times, or I just get the feeling that they don't really care about my time or getting to know me, then I will ignore them. I will not send them a text. I will not follow up. And the difference is I will truly let that connection go. You have to be willing to walk away. And if that woman keeps reaching back out and trying to make things happen, I would suggest that you stay strong and look ahead, because that is how you reinforce real self-confidence and real abundance. Coincidentally, that true internal belief system that you cultivate will be insanely attractive to lots and lots of women. And it won't be something you faked. It won't be something you're using as a tactic, but it'll actually become you. And the guys who actually do this are the ones who I see grow the fastest and see the most romantic success, as opposed to the guys who are constantly thinking about what's this one other tactic I can use to get this woman to like me. Chase your own approval, not theirs.